Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys my Rokket Yugioh deck profile for October 2017. Been meaning to bring you guys this deck profile for quite a while now. It's actually a really fun deck. I just think the deck needs a little more before it can really be top class, but still love the playstyle that the deck is involved with, involving destroying their own monsters for special effects to go off with the use of Borolo Dragon, or just basically any other attack or card effects. So let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. For starters, for the rocket monsters, I run 3 Magna Rokket Dragon. Now you have 3 basic rocket dragons that we were introduced to in this pack so far. This is looking to be Revolver's main deck in the Vrains anime, so excited to see what other support we will get for it, because knowing, main character decks, you definitely get a lot of really cool support for those decks. When a Link Monster's effect is activated that targets this face-up card on the field, it's a quick effect. You can destroy this card, then send one monster on the field to the graveyard. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field by battle or card effect and sent there this turn, you can special summon one rocket monster from your deck, except for Magna Rokket Dragon. You can only use each effect of Magna Rokket once per turn. So the send effect is very good. It has that offensive play that can basically help you in a bad situation, depending on what kind of monster you're going up against your opponent. And the special summon aspect allows you to just float into other monsters, but it's an end phase effect, so you have to remember that you won't get the effect off at the destruction, but you also won't miss it against cards that lose timing. Since it is an end phase effect, you kind of have to think of it like Dark Soul for X-Sabers. It has that end phase resolve, so you'll always get that search off at that point in time. And the special summon effect lets you go into other ones, including Auto Rokket Dragon, which I also run 3 of. This is the level 3. All the rocket monsters are different levels as well, which is a pattern that I see forming with a lot of the Link decks, just so you won't have consistent plays for Xyz Summon, it looks like. But when a Link monster effect is activated that targets this face-up card on the field, it's also a quick effect. You can destroy this card, then send one spell or trap on the field to the graveyard. And during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field or by battle or card effect and set there this turn, you can special summon one rocket monster from your deck, except for Auto Rokket Dragon. You can only use each effect once per turn. So Magna Rokket has that monster dealing effect. Auto Rokket has that spell and trap card dealing effect. And the last one, Nest Rokket, which I also run 3 of. It's pretty much standard, so you can just go into all of the rockets off of each other and always have resources to go for your plays. When a Link monster's effect activates that targets this face-up card, you destroy it, basically the same effect, and then you target one card on the field, it's unable to attack, and it also has its effect negated. During the end phase, it has the same special summon effect for another rocket monster, just cannot be himself. So you have an effect negation and attack stopping, spell destruction, and monster sending. You basically have all the key cards to basically mess with your opponent's monster spells and attacks on their turn come around. Plus 2 Gateway Dragon. This is just to help speed up your Link plays, because the one big play you want to go for in the deck is Borolo Dragon and use his effect. Then having one of your Auto Rockets get destroyed and get one of their effects is the #1 play that this deck goes for. And with Gateway Dragon, when your opponent has a Link monster, he's just a special summon, and then you get to special summon another one from your hand. So good field swarming with this card. And one of the key cards you'll want to go for with that card is Sniffer Dragon. Also run 3 of this. When this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Sniffer Dragon from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Sniffer Dragon once per turn. I hate when I draw more than one of this card. I want to search him each and every time, so I'm always gambling on that draw, but most of the time I don't have that problem. If I get him normal summon or special summon quick enough, I can filter through that deck and not have to worry about drawing him off my draw and just get him off the search. And I'm also running 2 of the new Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisson. This card, such an easy special summon you can make full use of from the field or graveyard. I use Foolish Burial in the deck to send him to the graveyard to get off that play. He's a pay your half your life point play, but an easy special summon to be used for resources. He just goes on the bottom of the deck after you use him, obviously. Otherwise, he'd be way too broke for a resource each turn. But like I said, still good to have for that option. And also 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. All the cards in your deck are basically dragons that you can go off of. So very easy to special him, get off some more special summonings with his effect as well. And he's also really good with basically Twin Triangle Dragon, since you get that special summon from the graveyard. Of course, the effect's negated, but still that good swarm, and you want targets with that card's effect. And also 1 Debris Dragon. This card is good for the Answer Rocket target. You don't really use him for the Synchro Summon in the deck, but you can use him for the Link Summon since he has that Field Swarm play as well. It's basically the key cards why I run Red Eyes, Darkness Metal, and Debris Dragon and Frisson in the deck, just for that quick swarming. And also 1 Maxi, just for hand consistency. Once I get my field set up, my deck thin, this card's a good hand trap to go off of, pretty standard. And also, lastly, for the monsters, 3 Gofu. This card's just way too broke. It can help set up your Decode Talker for your scale arrows to be ready and set, and then just have more special summon options from there. Depending on that, you don't have to go into Decode. You have other options as well, depending on what you want to do for that play. And that is it for the monsters. We will now move on to spells. Obviously draws, because I run 3 Squib Draw. This card, you target 1 rocket monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Squib Draw per turn. Might bump this card down to 2. Been seeing how it runs. It's pretty good because most of the time when I do run this card, I actually have Quick Launch in my hand, so I can get this card off successfully for the special summon and then get the Squib Draw as well. I want to run 3 of this card. Sadly, I only have 2 at the moment, so definitely would run a 3rd one of this. It is a special summon 1 rocket from your deck, but it cannot attack and destroy during the end phase. Good field swarm, destruction effects, you'll get off that effect as well, but most of the time, like I said, I love using it with the Squib Draw for the draw 2, just for deck thinning. And also 3 Infernal Reckless Summon. This card with the rocket effects are way too good. You'll get your resources you need, rockets on the field to use later. Just, you'll want to make sure you hold off and protect those monsters. If not, you'll have one of their effects go off that you can use against your opponent. And also 2 Allure of Darkness. I think, if not all, I think except for Debris Dragon, all the dragons in the deck are dark, so very rarely will you not be able to get this card off with the draw and then the special. And then 1 Soul Charge. Now this card can be risky with Frisson in the deck. If you use this first and then Frisson, you have no problems there, but I might take this card out for the Quick Launch when I get a 3rd one. It's debatable. I have some other options as well. Foolish Burial is in state already for the Frisson. This card just way too good for sending it and then getting that special summon. And then 2 back to the front. This card for special summoning your resources back, grab some rockets from the graveyard to reuse as well. Way too cool there. It sucks that, that has to be in defense. Obviously, it'd be really good. You could get your Link monsters back as well off of this. And 1 Call the Haunted. I like this just as the key tech for now. This might be another possibility for the Quick Launch substitute, but I like it because you can get your Link monsters back with this card. Some key cards might change depending on how the playstyle goes, but either this or Soul Charge could be taken out for the Quick Launch. I guess in the end it could be player preference depending on what you want to do. Or you could try 3 back to the front and take out the Soul Charge for the Quick Launch. You have that option as well. And then 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Solemn Strike, and 1 Bottomless Trap Hole to finish off the traps. If you want to try Torrential, you can give that a shot, see how that works with the rocket plays, like I said, but you kind of having a field white card in the deck is not too keen in my opinion. And then for the monsters, I only have 1 Borreload at the moment, but definitely would run 2. He is your main key monster to go to in the deck. Neither player can target this card with monster effects, and once per turn quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. It loses 500 attack and defense, and your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect. And at the start of damage step, if this card attacks your opponent monster, you can place the opponent's monster in the same spot that this card points to, and then send it to the graveyard during the end phase of the next player's turn. So really cool there with that Goyle Guardian-like effect for the special summon. Except Goyle special summons in defense. This guy gets it in attack mode, which is pretty awesome. And the no response to the 500 loss can make for a lot of key plays since your opponent can't respond to it. And also, just for standard power card plays, 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon for that great pop effect if you need another resource for a Link 4 to go into. 2 Twin Triangle Dragon. This card he is very gimmicky, basically, because he requires 2 level 4 lower dragon monsters except for tokens, but then he special summons a level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard. So he can grab, some of your higher ones, but the fact that his resources can't even be brought back makes him kind of slow in my opinion, but still have him for that place. If you have your resources in the graveyard already from earlier plays for level 5, he's a good card to go into for that special summon just for 500 life. But otherwise, like I said, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get some better cards that'll work with him later down the road. I have the 2 Firewall in here for now. Probably going to take one of them out for another Boral load. We'll wait and see. Most likely he's the one keen to go for that. 3 Link Spider. This is just for Gofu. Basically, if the Gofu play dies later, either by Gofu being hit or something like that, this will obviously come out for something else, which I hope we do get some more cards involved with the Rokket deck. Maybe even some Rokket Link monsters for specific plays. 2 Decode Talker. Once again, standard with the Gofu. Proxy Dragon, just for better link columns as well. And then just for a couple key Exceed monsters, 1 Baguska, 1 Tornado Dragon, and 1 Leviair the Sea Dragon to wrap up the extra deck. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed this deck. I am very excited to see what potential support this deck has in the future. It's definitely worth investing in. It has a very unique playstyle as well. Definitely a fun one as well for all you looking for a fun but possibly good, potentially good meta deck in the future. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.